cheat. Since we were last on air, that is the accusation thrown at GD and Birmingham Speedway. Is this fair or just another way of putting bums on seat?
It is certainly true that should Birmingham beat Bellevue, interest in the next round of the Knockout Cup will be high.
Well, I personally will be moving heaven and earth to be there.
We will discuss, does Speedway need more controversy? In other news,
Tony Moore seems to be saying, come and get us to the Premier League. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
you tell us. And we have to say good luck to Team GB. This is our sport.
Welcome to the Speedway Tavern.
We should be having a bit more music now, but we haven't.
Why is that?
Because it's run out. You've just talked too much. Right.
In the studio today, we have Chris.
Good evening.
We have Matt.
Good evening.
And we have GA.
Just for a second then, you forgot my name. I'm your dad and you forgot my name.
No, I didn't.
Honestly.
I just wanted to shake up the order a bit. I mean, I totally wasn't going to call you the alcoholic one in the corner.
Not this week anyway.
So, I believe you have an apology.
Me?
Another
apologise? Okay, yeah, I do have an apology. Do I need to get down on my knees for this?
Please don't.
Perhaps.
You won't get
Yeah,
up
the mic might be a
I'll
bit
never
too
get
far
back up
away.
again. Okay, so the last time we were on it, and I'm really sorry that it's taken this long, but it's been 3 weeks since we was last on air, and it's just stuff happening. I mentioned something about former Birmingham rider Adam Ellis. Now, I said that I was told by somebody that should know some certain information. I certainly stick by that part of my statement. And I stated, not believing this was true, I have to say, I stated that Adam Ellis was getting paid more per point for Eastbourne than he was in the Elite League. Now, I was stating that not as a statement of fact. I was stating that as an example of how, when there's a vacuum of information, people make up stories and people make up things, and that vacuum is filled. It was an example of how Speedway very often shoots itself in the foot. However, I did say that. I shouldn't have said it, and I shouldn't have repeated it, and I want to apologise unreservedly to Adam Ellis, who is one of my heroes after all. So I hope that straightened that out.
So, Matt, Wolves.
Aye.
Oh, hold on. I believe we've got something here. Wolves.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Hang on. So, what'd you say? Say it again.
Say it
Say it
again.
again. 'Cause I wasn't
So,
ready.
Matt, once again, Wolves. What's been happening?
Hang on. We didn't rehearse this. Hang on. Here we go.
Of all the mistakes to make, so
Is that supposed to be a wolf?
It is a wolf.
Oh, right, okay.
didn't sound like one, does it?
It's actually a proper wolf. That's actually you're saying that.
Oh, so fair enough.
Okay, so we just go on.
Perhaps we should have rehearsed that bit.
Yeah. Wasn't good.
Matt, what's been happening in the world of Wolverhampton?
Well, just the one meeting since we met last time, of course, the Swindon meeting, eagerly awaited, I think. And to be fair to Swindon, they worked hard for their 30 points that they got against us. 62-30, a really convincing win for Wolves. Swindon were abject, to be honest.
What was it like as far as entertainment was concerned?
It wasn't about Greyston meetings, to be honest, but I think when you've got a team that's just not particularly competitive, I would imagine that most of them were kept in the changing rooms by Alan Rossiter for quite a lengthy period of time after the meeting. But no, it was a very, very convincing win by Wolves and a real statement of intent against a potential playoff rival. Because I think Swindon, I mean, I've been saying for most of the season I think Lakeside will get the fourth spot. I'm leaning now towards Swindon,
Right.
because Lakeside's away form I think is a real concern for them.
I remember before the break you was, I don't think concerned, I think concerned is perhaps a little bit too strong a word, but you felt that there was a bit of a dip in performance by Wolverhampton.
I think that I said that the form at that time was not as convincing as it had been at the start of the season. It had tailed off a little bit. But that certainly was a really convincing win, as I say, and not just the win, but the level of performance and the fact that, as I like to say, it was really a case of putting the boot into Swindon. Right. I was expecting a tough meeting. I didn't think Swindon would come to Monmore and win, but I thought they would certainly be deep targeting a point. I mean, they've done well away from home this season, Swindon, but really from the first take they were never in it.
Right, well,
and convincing all the way through. Peter Carlson getting a maximum 46. You don't often see that in the Elite League. And yeah, all going well for Wolves at the moment. And of course, I think a much tougher meeting coming up on Monday against Coventry. You can never, even with Coventry struggling, you can never write them off at Monmore Green because they've got so many riders who like riding there.
Well, shall we have a look at the Elite League table?
Why not?
We'll put that up. Bellevue, up top at the moment, 18 matches, 41 points. How do you think they're going to fare?
Well, I've said Bellevue. I think will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. Incidentally, I did see them on Friday. I went to Coventry to watch Coventry Bellevue.
Right.
Coventry, I thought it was a good meeting. To be fair, really good crowd as well. The meeting had a delayed start because there were a lot of people coming in through the gates, which is really good to see.
Do you think that's probably helped? But I mean, we'll talk about it later. But there's been some very good news at Coventry, hasn't there?
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought Coventry probably should have got something out of the meeting. I thought they let it slip towards the end. Bellevue ended up fairly comfortable winners. But again, a really good meeting, to be honest. And Coventry, in fairness, have probably been the most entertaining side in the Elite League this season. And considering they're one from bottom...
Well, I was about to say, I'm sure they'd replace most entertaining for most successful with it's a shot, wouldn't they?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you want to see entertainment. I mean, I've always said, I want Wolves to win, but I also want to see some entertaining racing as well. And there's been times in the past where I think teams have gone all out to try and win and haven't really given that much of a impact towards entertainment.
Now, I understand we've actually got the league table up on our Facebook page, is that right?
It's on there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is our new this is one of the reasons why we've spent that 3 weeks away. well spent. That and the fact that Webby's been practising coups again.
That's right. My third coup, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah,
you said.
My third coup.
Anyway, yeah, because you've been in Turkey, haven't you? Bless you. So Wolverhampton in second place, 20 matches, and with some points that I can't see because you've cut them off. And okie, thank you very much. So 39 points, 2 points behind, with Bellevue with 2 matches in hand. Where would you think Wolverhampton's going to finish? What's your...
Well, I did mention before we went on air, didn't I, that I'd done a little prediction thing, looking at all
your
the
Mystic
fixtures.
Meg is this?
Yeah, all the fixtures that I've got left, and I've got us finishing as runners-up behind Poole in the final table. The reason I've gone for Poole is because they've got a lot of matches in hand.
It's okay having matches in hand.
They've got to win, of course, obviously, but they've...
are any against Wolverhampton, or is that...
They've still got to come to Monmore Green in the first week of September. That's Wolsey's last meeting of the regular season. In fairness, we've got 8 matches left, 6 of them are at home, so it's. I think it's looking good now to be in the top 4. I think it still maybe want to get a couple of more points here and there, but I think by and large we're pretty much safely in the top 4 now.
So Lakeside, who you reckon probably not going to make the playoffs? They're in 3rd place at the moment, but 20 matches the same as yourself, but 5 points less, 34 points.
I think the big problem with Lakeside again is their away form. They're not winning matches away from home.
It's always been their problem, hasn't it?
That's it, and of course they have been beaten now at home as well by Poole. I probably wouldn't fancy going to Lakeside in the playoffs because we haven't done so well there the last few seasons.
And they've done quite well at your place, haven't they?
They do tend to ride Monmore Green better than we do Purfleet, I'll be honest. But if they get there, then you would think they'd probably be the first team picked. You tend to find that if they do get that 4th spot. In
4th place, Swindon. Bit squeaky bum time for them at the moment. They're not going very well, are they? Really?
Well, they certainly didn't look like a playoff team a couple of weeks ago. again, Swindon, other side to Lakeside, really, they've done well away from home, and they've had a few defeats at home as well. But looking at that Swindon team, they're a lot better team than I saw, in fairness, on Monday. But I think now Swindon probably will get in. It's going to be interesting because you're looking at possibly being Swindon or Lakeside for that last spot on their last league matches against each other, so that could be a decider.
Right. Well, interesting. And of course, way down in fifth place, I can't read at the moment, Poole, but they've only done 15 matches.
Well, this is it. You can never write Poole off. They'll always find a way of getting in there one way or the other. And I think you'd be a fool to write Poole off. They know what it's all about. They do it every year, don't they? So they seem to do it every year. Yeah. It's interesting. And you look at Kings Lynn then at 6th place, and probably, although they've only done 15 matches, they're a further 6 points behind Poole. So there's probably, I think Kings Lynn, Coventry. I think you can rule obviously Leicester out of it. Coventry, I think that defeat against Bellevue on Monday has probably finished their chances off. Kings Lynn, I mean, obviously they've won a few matches, but I think that's basically just about keeping them in it. But I think it'll take a real turnaround now for Kings Lynn to get into the playoffs. And then at number 8, you've got the strongest team in the league. Well, they must be the strongest because they're always propping everybody else up. I don't think anybody really expected anything else from Leicester than to struggle, to be honest. They need to make up their mind up about what they want to do, really, I think, because they're not really... It's pointless staying in the Elite League, isn't it, for them, if that's where they're going to keep finishing? I think probably one thing that probably could do Lakeside good would probably be Dave Hemsley going. Because I think there's been so much controversy surrounding him. We know he wears his heart on his sleeve, but he doesn't. He has got a way of getting on the wrong side of people, and it's not very good publicity for Leicester, to be honest. No. It's a real shame because it's a fabulous little venue. Obviously, we know there's been criticism of the track, but it's a shame. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see a more competitive Leicester team in the Elite League. Okay, well that's. The Elite League done and dusted. Now we have a little bit of a confession to make, I think. So we've had an apology. We've had an apology. We've had now going to have we've had controversy, and now we're going to have a bit of a confession, which is that we don't really know what's been going on at Cradley over much, do we? Don't really care. I actually would like Cradley to make the playoffs. Well, we keep writing Cradley off, don't we? Saying they're not going to get there, but they're still second, third in the table. Yeah. So no, because it'd be good. I just think it'd be good for Midland Speedway and be good for Birmingham and for Cradley to meet at some point in the playoffs. Well, I think if Birmingham finished top, they probably would pick Cradley. Well, I would fancy the Brummies to beat Cradley over 2 leagues. I need to do a bit of a catch up on that. Okay.
This was a question from years ago. This one there, it seems. We should have our own referendum with slips in a programme so fans could vote to say if they want to go a Premier League or not, just to gauge interest. Probably we're going to look at that question. That's a good idea, but we absolutely want to have. It is a good idea and it isn't, in my opinion, and I'll give you my opinions on why that and they are only my opinions after all. Some people want to listen to your opinions. Yeah, not many. They're probably the right ones. We've also got. We was talking about this earlier, actually, Joseph. Question that has been bothering me today: which team was better in its own right? He's talking about Birmingham teams now. Premier League 2010. Elite League 2013 or National League 2016. I'm now going to add a bit of controversy because, in my opinion, none of them. I think the best team...
Pick him up somewhere.
Oh, great, he's fainted now. He's going to do all the technical stuff.
So, for me, the best team... the best team we've ever had since 2007. I mean, you're going to say that our best team was 72, 73, those teams. But... For me, the best team was the one that we started in 2008.
Yeah, I know you were going to say that.
Which finished, I think, second to bottom. But 13 injuries in the season decimated us. But that team was, I think that was an unbeatable team. But so Dingle, come back on that one if you can. And Dingle's talking about. Apparently he's already apologised for me. Well, you could have told me.
Well, I did see that before, but I didn't. I thought I'd
my knee's hurt now. Roscoe was fuming.
I'm presuming he's on about the
the
Swindon debacle at Monmouth.
Well, when is it? When is he not? When is he not? So yeah. And Dingle says no referendum. People are stupid. Just look at the EU referendum. Let's not get onto that. Let's not get onto that.
Call you stupid?
Well, you, but you wasn't in the room at the time.
That was my question, GA. 1972.
That wasn't my question.
That wasn't. Did they have cars then?
Yeah, but they ran on gas, I think, or what was it? So I don't know. Okay, so yeah, well we'll come back onto all of that stuff. But I know that wasn't your question, but I still say that 2008 was better than any one of those teams. So pipe in, stick it. There we go.
You still right, so the question though.
So here's the thing: we don't really know an awful lot about what's been going on in Cradley, and we will do better. It's been a busy few weeks trying to sort things out, but we will do better. But here's the thing: I might as well introduce this idea into the show now. Everybody's looking at me nonplussed because nobody knows what I'm going to say now.
Nobody ever does.
So. In this world,
exactly.
As you know, we do our interviews, and we usually have some interviews from Birmingham Speedway. But it really would be nice to have some interviews from Wolverhampton, and it would really be nice to have some interviews from Cradley. Excuse me. So one way of doing this, look, our motto is by the fans, for the fans, and we absolutely want you guys to get involved in the show in any which way that you can. And we've all got our smartphones, and we can all go to matches, and we all see riders wandering round to the pits or whatever, and we all talk to them because that's Speedway, that's the way it works. So get your phone out and interview them when you're talking to them, and send them to us, and we'll put them on the show. Tell us who you are, and you'll get a mention. So
and it'll allow me to be a lot more lazy.
That wasn't
the idea, I don't think, was it, Joe?
I don't think that is possible.
I was hoping I could have a lion.
So, yeah, we would love to have your involvement and your input on that. Okay, we get the interviews at Birmingham Speedway. That doesn't mean to say that if you see a rider and you can interview them, that we won't put that on, because we will. And the great thing about that is the more interviews you send, the less time you have to spend listening to us. So it's a win-win situation.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah. So we have got you've sort of preempted me a little bit, but when we talk about Cradley, we're going to be playing this.
Shut in the morning.
So for obvious reasons, that's what that will be for the Cradley section. So if you want to send us in your interviews from the Cradley Wolf Clubs will be well and truly grateful. They've had a couple of matches, they've won them. I think that's what we can say.
They're still up there, aren't they, Cradley? We keep writing them off, but they're still hanging on.
And we will have a look at the National League table after we've spoken about the best team in the world.
What, Paul? Oh dear.
I was trying to think of a Polish team, but it wouldn't come into my head. We'll talk about the red and yellow. And for the red and yellow we have... Oh, he's not ready, he's not listening.
Sorry?
And for the red and yellow we have this effect.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Which one's that then?
The one that says Birmingham.
Right. Okay. Can you talk amongst yourselves and I'll get that ready in a bit?
So you know how we spent these 3 weeks honing everything and getting everything ready.
Apart from the professional things.
Oh, you mean this one?
Red and yellow in the sky. From the gate we're gonna fly. We are burning.
So give me a couple of months,
Yeah.
and I shall get.
By the time the season's finished, that's what you're telling us. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we've had a few matches actually since last we was on, and I wrote them down and I lost them. So obviously we had the rain off against Coventry. Gotta say, they did everything that they possibly could in that match to get that going, and they kept the.
That second shower was the one that really finished it off.
They also
didn't
They was very good at keeping the supporters informed on
Yeah.
the mic about what was happening and everything. I thought that was pretty good actually. You know, I know it was bad because it was rained off, but I think the way they organised it and did it, I thought was as good as you could get it really. So that's a shame. Then we went to Kent. Let's come back to Kent in a moment. Let's carry on a little bit, and then we'll talk about all the goings-on and shenanigans at Kent. Yeah.
I think he's looking forward to that. So
So we went to Stoke, and we won. Joseph, you was there with me. What did you think of that match? I know what you thought. That's why I'm asking you about that.
It took me a few seconds to realise what you were on about then. Yeah, it was boring.
It was boring. It was just
what was the
boring.
crowd like? I know there have been plenty of Birmingham fans.
But they not great. So here's what I've got to say about the Stoke match. It sort of brought into sharp relief the problems that Speedway has. If a new person had been there at that match, I wouldn't have come back. Why would you? I was bored to tears, and I loved my Speedway, and we were winning.
So is it the home meeting or the meeting?
This is not the home meeting. This was the one at Stoke.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one thing I noticed about the home meeting against Stoke. The Stoke team manager was on the centre green most of the night.
Yeah, I noticed.
Should he not have been in the pit with his riders?
Who knows? He wasn't.
It doesn't suggest they haven't got a very good team spirit.
Doesn't,
does
it?
that,
And they did get slaughtered, and that's why I sort of glossed over that. It wasn't much
Yeah.
of a match, was it? But more entertaining than what happened at Stoke. First of all, the track kept. I don't know whether it was riders or track or whatever, but we kept getting riders falling off on that third and fourth bend, which is not ideal. So, but here's what I mean about how we shoot ourselves in the foot, and we've seen this sort of thing. We've all seen this sort of thing happen. Okay, so a rider falls off and needs attention by the track doctor, and they announce that that's what's happening. So far, so good.
Yep.
It goes on. Bit 70s music playing. It was a bit. What was they playing? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
And it was the same. Seemed to be the same song every other song. Going on and on, not a lot being said. Nothing being said really. For God's sake, do something. Don't just leave your audience there twiddling the thumbs. Do something. Interview a rider. Get one of the team managers out. Organise a streak. I don't know. Do something. Because it...
Maybe not a streak.
Well, not by you, for sure. That would clear the place. But you know, to understand what I'm saying?
How many clubs do this though?
Absolutely.
They just
do something. Anything. Do the flipping raffle. Just do something. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Finally, they come out for Heat 3 or Heat 4, whichever one it was. They have the race. Then the flipping tractor comes out. You've just had a break for 20 odd minutes. Why isn't the tractor going round then?
I just think some of these clubs don't think that's their things. I mean, a number of meetings I've been to where they've had a big crash. They've spent about 20 minutes repairing the fence. They have a rerun, and then they have an interval after that race. I mean,
well, it's just think it through, guys.
I just
Joined up thinking.
I just think with Stoke, I mean, without being disrespectful to Stoke, it's never been what you would call a particularly professional setup.
No,
but that was just...
That's not just Stoke. I mean, that happened at Stoke, but we've seen that sort of thing happen time and time again. And
Coventry was the same on Friday, to be fair. The tractors were coming out every 2 or 3 heats to
For me,
track, so.
part of the blame, only part of the blame, because after all, the promoters, you're promoting something. You should see this. This should be part of your job. But also, referees should be saying something. Get the tractors out, lads.
Who was the referee?
I didn't know.
I think you've hit a raw nerve on regarding bad meetings. Craigie versus Buxton was the worst speedway meeting I had ever seen. Not one something all night. I'd rather something in my hands and clap them than watch a meeting like that again.
Oh dear.
Was you at the Craigie Buxton?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had heard that it was, but you can't. You sort of can't do anything about the entertainment if it's not, But
you can do something about providing entertainment off the track.
Yes, you can, and you should, and you should have something. When those things happen in Speedway, it's not a surprise. That's not the first time that's ever happened in Speedway. You should be prepared for that, and you should do something. You should have riders interview. Why not? If you can't pull a rider out because they're doing, why not have prepared interviews to play over the tannoy? Something, anything.
Even bring an old rider out to interview.
Bring an old rider and talk to the track staff. Somebody's raking the tug. Do something.
Bring a band on.
Teach the track staff to perform.
Juggling.
I mean, just go out into your audience and talk to them.
Well, I'm not so sure about that one, to be honest. But
I'd rather do that than nothing. Just ignore the situation.
Well, it's not a problem unless you don't get Peter York doing it. Then
that's all I've got to say on the matter.
You're not happy, are you?
No, well, it's not that. It's just, to me, it beggars belief that this is still going on. What right?
Especially when the sport needs to attract an audience.
Of course, the other thing that happened in Stoke was one of the weirdest incidents I've ever seen in my life, or that I've never seen, that I haven't seen, because I didn't actually see it, because nobody saw what happened. But Zach's made a bad start, and he made a fantastic start in his first race and was off, and I think it was the fastest time of the night in the end. And then his next race, he totally missed the trap. Very rare for Zach, and really missed it. So he's fighting to get past whoever it was, and he's on the outside of him, and I think he just about managed to get past. And all of a sudden, we all thought he'd had an engine failure. He just pulls up.
Yeah.
So you carry on watching the racing, don't you? He's okay. He's pulled up. He'll go up, and you see him on the side as the rock bikes, and you see him on the side again, looking as he's in pain, and then he's on his knees, and then you're thinking, why aren't the medics looking at him? He's obviously in great pain. Well, they're probably watching the racing like us, I think. But when the racing gets stopped, he's going, and everybody's waving and shouting for the medic to come over. Nobody had any idea what happened, and nobody still has any idea what happened, except that he broke 2 fingers. But nobody's quite sure. Even Zach doesn't.
Caught in his wheel, didn't he?
And can I just say, it wasn't just like the fans shouting him. There was a member of the track staff that had went over to him while the race was still going on, and then he was like waving over the medics and stuff, and they were just ignoring it.
Yeah, well, it's
boggles the mind.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, that, but how did he do it? I mean, his hands was on the handlebars all the time.
What I heard is he got his hand trapped in his wheel somehow.
But his hand was on the handlebar. They think it was trapped in the. Well, they don't know. The summation is that he's got it trapped in an opponent's wheel and stuff. But anyway, so we don't know what the situation is. Graham Drury must have been breathing a sigh of relief last night that finally one of his guests scored some points. In fact, you spoke to him about that, didn't you?
Yes,
on one of your interviews. So we'll hear. Well, I hope we'll be hearing the interviews in a moment. Okay, calm. We haven't asked for them yet. So, a decent meeting, big scoreline, but pretty decent racing. I thought last night, entertaining.
It was a good meeting. It was one of the best, probably the best meeting I've seen at Birmingham this season since the Cradley meeting. It doesn't look particularly close. Didn't look particularly close anyway. Look at the score lines, but I mean, I thought Mildenhall, they put up a good show. I thought,
yeah, they were consistently getting out the gate, weren't they?
That's right. I mean, Heat 5 with Darryl Richins. That was a superb race.
Let's talk about Darryl Richins. He's been off the pace a little bit last few meetings, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I thought last night was his best meeting for a long time, apart from going into the tapes in the first heat. Yeah, I mean...
He's going well, isn't he? And Tom Bacon's obviously now, since he came back from injury, he's looked different class, hasn't he?
Well, it shows you what a good team we've got. I think Graham Drury touched on this in the programme, that we've got the 2 best reserves in the league, without a doubt. We might not have the best reserve, but we've got the 2. As a pair, we've got the best reserves.
Yeah.
I think Dan Bewley's can probably claim... Well, he's not a reserve anymore.
I don't even think Dan Bewley was as good as either of the 2 Jacks, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, he's at number 1 now for Bellevue, so they're not going quite so well now. And they're still at reserve with 5-point plus averages.
Well, it just shows how strong the Birmingham team's been. It shows how well it's been put together as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's just, which is it? This is why we was talking about it the other day, Joseph, wasn't it? That is this the best Birmingham team? Taking into account the different leagues, is this the best Birmingham team we've ever seen? I still think the 2008 one was.
And I still can't remember what the original team was. 2008,
somebody will put it up. It was like Kyle Legault, it was Adam Roynan, it was Phil Morris, Jason Lyons.
Watch you just be listing off all the replacements.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not even talk about it. It was a hell of a team.
It was a very good side. It would have been a very, very strong team.
But yeah. Okay, so great meeting, good result. Tony Atkinson. Wow, that's all I got to say.
Well, he's fabulous, isn't he, Tony Atkinson? So, I mean, it's it was like the old days for me. Watching Tony Atkinson riding.
Yeah,
but you got to take your hat off to the guy. He's still enjoying his speedway. Still very competitive as well.
Yeah, at this level certainly, and doesn't he's guesting last night, but weren't giving up. He weren't taking no prisoners.
Well, someone pointed out to me yesterday. You look at the ages of the 2 Birmingham reserves combined; they're still not as old as Tony Atkinson.
Yeah. Let's not tell him that before the meeting. And then what a great...
he's a great person. I've been thinking with Tony Atkinson is he's a great bloke to have in the pit as well. He's a great personality, Tony Atkinson.
I think that's what Graham was after.
Yeah.
And then, of course, next week we got Daniel Halsey riding for us at number 1, who top scored for good.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because, I mean, you think when he rode for the Brummies, about
the
7 or 8 years ago, he was really, really poor, wasn't he? But I think he's better suited to that league than he was the
Premier League.
It was Premier League, in fairness, yeah. But he was a reserve. But no, he rode well.
I think he was one of the ones that got injured for us in 2008.
Yeah, it
wasn't
may well have been. Was he?
Yeah, I think he was a replacement. I can't remember. It was 2007 he rode for us, or 2008.
I think 2007 he was at Rye House. I think
he came to us from Rye House.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, we shall see. Whoa, I do believe Mr.
Will you try it?
Mr. Brown's on. We got some interviews for us, and
it's another new idea. So I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to give it a go anyway. So
fingers crossed, everyone.
Here we go.
Here's Tom Bacon.
Hopefully.
So we have Tom Bacon here, and how do you feel after that win in Heat 15?
It's really pleasing to get that Heat 15. I've had a couple of Heat 15s lately that haven't gone so well, so to make that move in the first turn and pull away from the board, this was a great.
And then.
Okay, so believe that all worked. Let us know. Let us know, guys. So, yeah, I mean that was that. For those of you that are not watching on Facebook, we just you will have heard the video, but on Facebook we were showing the video, and then we get what's going on.
Some idiots.
Shouldn't talk about what's going on. Don't be so hard on yourself.
You line them up.
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, that was and Tom. We will talk about his. I think that was his first Heat 15.
I think it was, yeah,
and he won it.
It wasn't his first Heat 15. He did. If you were listening, he did say in the interview that it wasn't his first.
Okay,
but I think it might have been
the first one that he's won for sure, and he won it in good style.
He won it comfortably, yeah. So, but no, as I say, I mean, he's really found his form at the moment. Jack Smith's flying as well, in fairness.
Yeah, Jack Smith is and probably had one of his quieter nights last night as well, really.
Yeah, didn't make any gestures as anybody, I didn't see.
Well, we'll come on to that in a minute. In fact, okay, Kent.
Yeah, I was just about to say we haven't mentioned Kent yet.
Let's talk about Kent. Now, first thing I need to say about this is I wasn't there because it starts at a silly time. too far away for me to get to.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to move heaven and earth to be at the next one because it might be quite tasty. So anyway, the Kent meeting, and if any of you out there have got your 2 pence worth to put in on this one, we would be very grateful. You can do it on the shout box. You can do it on Twitter. I'd give you the address, but Webby's just disappeared. How does that happen?
It just materialises, doesn't it?
Yeah, and on Facebook as well. So,
what's he doing, rummaging in the bins again, is he?
Good meeting at Kent, from the sound of it. You know, no, I can't say last heat decider, penultimate heat decider.
Yeah.
And he's back.
Yeah, can you
been
give us
rummaging in the bins again?
Can you give us the Facebooks and the Twitter so people can comment on it?
Facebook is /Brummies. That's facebook.com/Brummies, and the Twitter is / No, it's not. It's at Brummie Speedway.
There you go. So, yeah, I mean, keep us up to date on any messages coming through on this. I'd love to know people's opinions on this. I'm just looking at the time as well. That's gone really quick.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm sure you all know what's been going on at Kent, but the long and short of it is
Hey! It's been a long day. What's been going on at Kent?
We've been accused of cheating.
Really?
Well, Graham Drury in particular has been accused of cheating because they reckon we was wasting time. Now, okay, first of all, you want to get technical, we weren't cheating. Whether we wasted time or whether we didn't waste time, it's in the rules. No rules were broken, so therefore there's no cheating. Mm-hmm. That's just true, isn't
Fair
it?
enough, yeah.
You know, that's just true. We've all been there, we've all seen, I think there probably is not a team out there that hasn't done that or something similar. Would you all agree?
I would have thought so, yeah. Most teams managed by Alan Russell to do it.
So the first thing is stop moaning and get your flipping meetings on a bit quicker, and then it wouldn't happen. You know, they know they've got this curfew time. They know that they're tight, but they hadn't. Now I might get the timings wrong here, so I apologise. I'm trying not to upset anybody after last time. But they hadn't got the meet. They got mascots on when the meeting should have started, and you know, this is what I've heard reported. I wasn't there. They had riders doing gardening for 5 minutes. Have you noticed that, by the way? I think there's been an increase in the gardening going on in National League level this year. I noticed it last night. I've noticed the last couple of meetings. There's much more of this messing about at the tapes and not getting up and going, which last year
they clamped down on it, didn't they? There's no go in these rules if they're not going to enforce them, right? So,
yeah. So
it's understandable when riders sort of push them a little bit.
But at National League level, I've never seen that before. So interesting. It's becoming a much more professional.
Especially when they get off the bike and start doing it.
Yeah, and we've seen that a few times, and warming the tyres up as well. I've seen that a few times. So, for me, the big issue with that match was Kent not getting it on, not getting the match on. I mean, they were obviously upset because they felt that they were going to get 5-1 in Heat 15. You certainly can't say that, particularly when we probably would have had Tom Bacon and Jack Smith. Tom Bacon had beaten everybody at one point or another during the meeting. So I think
Pottermouth GA says Dingle.
Why was I What have I said? Did I say?
You're in trouble every week.
You mentioned yourself.
If I said something wrong, I do apologise. I didn't mean to. Whoops.
Tut. Oh, no, I'm in trouble.
I wonder whether you said the word flipping and it came out a bit wrong. So.
Did you?
I love this quote. I love this quote by Dingle here. He says, "Kent, I like the young boxer calling out the heavyweight champion just to make a name for himself." I don't see us in that light, but thank you anyway. Yeah. The thing about that's more interesting about this whole thing for me is that word interest. It's thrown. There was on the BSF, for instance, there was not a thread about the Kent versus Birmingham match until after the Kent versus Birmingham match, and obviously it was all about the controversy, and all of a sudden anybody that's got an opinion and people that shouldn't have an opinion were in there trading blows.
Like us elite league snobs who just dip in there from time to time.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and you just know that should we beat Bellevue in the Knockout Cup, which we should, we're 18 points in front.
Yeah.
The next round of the Knockout Cup for us is against Kent. Going to be a lot of people want to see that.
Oh, I think so.
A lot of people want to see that because niggle between the two teams.
Mhm.
I mean, there was also the incident with Jack Smith, who apparently did a few naughty hand gestures towards the crowd.
Oh, right.
But as sort of mitigating,
I was just going to do them, but I just realised I can't.
sort of mitigating circumstances, they'd been doing it to him.
Probably best just to ignore it, I think, in fairness.
It is, but you know, how old is he?
This is it.
That's a lesson learned for
he's
him.
young and he'll learn. Well, like Ty Woofington doesn't seem to have learned, to be honest. In his potty mouth at Cardiff. So.
Yeah. Maybe people have got an opinion about that, and if we get time, we'll have a chat about that as well. I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it live, but no, I mean, I think he's young, Jack Smith, and he
was being wound up. I mean, they was calling him a cheat. And all he was doing was celebrating in the same way as the Kent fans, the Kent drivers.
He's from Yorkshire, mind you, so...
Talking of celebrate... So that's it, and I just wonder... And we will talk about celebrating in a minute.
Can I just interject? There's a message just has come up from your dad. He said there's some concern over Jack Parkinson Blackburn, who was taken ill in the early hours of this morning.
Okay.
And taken by ambulance to hospital in considerable pain. Now back home, but having to go back to hospital for further tests.
Oh dear.
So there you go.
Oh,
well,
We don't the wire, as they say.
We don't want to hear that.
No.
Get back, get well soon, Jack, and just do what it takes to get well. That's it.
We'll try and bring more news on that as we get it, I suppose.
Yeah. If we do hear anything, we will let you know.
There you go. Get better soon. We'll just get better.
Yeah, that's brought proceedings down a little bit.
Yeah.
So does Speedway need more contract?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it as long as it doesn't go too far.
Yeah, I agree.
It's extra lines in the newspaper columns, isn't it?
This is a gladiatorial sport.
Yeah, well, I've mentioned this before, haven't I? About reading a story years ago where two riders had a bit of a battle on the track, and then it sort of escalated when they were back in the pits, and the home promoter came running over to them saying, "Don't do it here. Get out on the track where everybody can see you."
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with it. There's just I think a lot of it's this PR and people who just don't think it's the right image to portray. But as long as it doesn't go too far, there's not obviously a problem with it.
Was it Gary Middleton that turned up with a gun?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, apparently. So that's the legend anyway. That's the legend. Okay.
I know Kenny Carter used to turn there with a baseball bat.
Celebrations at the Stoke match. The best thing about the Stoke match was after we won, and the lads came out and celebrated. Yeah, do you agree, Jack? And it was like old-fashioned celebrating. They came out, they were popping wheelies, they were doing donuts in front of the supporters, sort of waving them. They did this thing which I've never seen before, which was, I think it was Jack Smith and Tom Perry, sort of bumped front wheels and bikes going in. It was just really nice, celebrating with the fans. And a lot of the Stoke fans were sort of saying to our supporters, that was fantastic to see that that the riders had obviously got a great affinity with us and so on, and we sort of feel that, and it was good, and that's part of the show and should be part of the show, and there should be more of that.
Well, you definitely see more of that in the National League than you do higher up the field as well, higher up the chain. As well.
The team manager should be telling them, go out and celebrate. Get be with the crowds, show them that they're important.
Yeah, I like it when they come around as well after a race and do a lap of honour, not when they just win the race and then just skirt off back to the pits.
They should always do that, unless there are there are
obviously when there's
two on the trot, or there's a problem with the bike, or they shed a chain or something. But well, there we go. That's everything about Birmingham. We'll have a quick look at the table.
Which I got ready for you straight away. Here we go. It's coming up.
So we'll 13 matches, 39 points. I make that 8 points clear of Kent, who have done 12 matches with 31 points.
Yeah, it's a healthy position to be in.
I think we're close, aren't we, to be in a position where the playoffs.
I think pretty much there anyway.
So Is it time for Graham Drury to start thinking about? Is there anything he can think about as far as playoffs are concerned?
Well, until we know who's there, then there's nothing really you can decide that at the moment.
Because until this year, Birmingham have never won a playoff. We've been in finals. We've never won one. Never won a 2-leg final until this year against Kent, which surprised everybody, I think. Cradley, we spoke about them in third place, same number of matches as us. I'd love to tell you how many points they've got, but Webby's decided to... there we go. 28 points for them. And then 27 points from 11 matches. You've got Eastbourne. They're looking fairly healthy as well, you'd have to say, with only 11 matches gone.
Bellevue have also got a lot of home matches, haven't they?
Yeah, Bellevue.
Which
So
might be,
that place where Cradley is at the moment is up for grabs, isn't it?
mhm.
They need to get a finger out. Mildenhall at 7th place, perhaps better than...
Sure, so I'm not
yeah,
sure
but
they'll
12
get
points.
it. I think it's going to be 4 of the top.
King's Lynn only 9 matches with 21 points. That's only 1 point behind Bellevue. That's
They're close, aren't they, Kings Lynn? But I think it's going to be 4 of those top 5.
Yeah.
Personally.
Of course, the thing Bellevue, of course, is they've started losing matches a bit now because they've got Dambuli at number 1.
Yeah, that's not weak. That's weakening them a bit. That is, I think.
I think it's weak. Yeah, I think it's weakening them quite a lot actually. But but you look at it, and you think 8 points clear, and we built all that lead up, and it means nothing.
That's right.
And it's wrong. It should mean something. But hey ho. So that is that. We will now have a little chat, I think, about anything that they want to talk about for a starter. So if you've got something that you guys want to talk about, then we would love to hear about it. But of course, there's the not inconsiderable matter of the World Team Cup
taking place.
Yeah. Sweden, I believe, have managed to get through. Is that right?
That's right.
Who's going to win it?
Really, Poland, I think, are going to be in the box seat. I think they'll love the track of Bellevue. They were certainly very, very impressive on Saturday. Denmark weren't quite so impressive. They did have a battle to get through, to be honest, but they did manage to do it. It's going to be a really competitive race-off tomorrow with the Australians, America, Denmark and Russia. I mean, Russia, you can't rule them out. If they turn them in the right frame of mind, they've got riders who can go well.
I don't think you can rule any of those teams out, really.
Possibly the Americans, even with Greg Hancock. I don't know whether he can do enough to get them through, getting a big score himself.
Maybe.
He's going to need some of his teammates to chip in as well.
Would you say Australia are the favourites for that? Or?
I'd probably still go for Denmark.
Right.
But it's a shame because that could be a final, really. So...
glad it's not.
That's not obviously, yeah. So.
What could be the final? Denmark and who?
Denmark, Australia,
right.
Russia,
and
probably not.
Probably not the Americans, no.
But yeah. So have we got any sort of chance?
I think we can get a medal. I'm not so sure whether we can get the.
You might be saying is we're not going to finish last.
No, I don't think we'll finish last. But I think we can. I think we can definitely get a third, maybe a second if we get if all the riders perform. Bit disappointed that Ty Wolfenden didn't ride in the practice on Monday.
I didn't hear this.
Yes. So he's going to be going into a World Cup final having never ridden the track. So
that's not.
Probably not best. Not getting so much good publicity at the moment, unfortunately, for Ty. So which isn't really doing him any favours.
And he doesn't seem to actually care that he's not getting.
Well, looking at his Twitter feed, then
it's going to be interesting to see what sort of reaction he gets. Actually, I mean, I imagine that most people will. You want your team to do well, which in this case is Team GB. But do you think there'll be a few catcalls alongside the cheers?
I think if he performs and we're in with a chance of winning, I think they'll very quickly disappear. To be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we just got to hope for the weather now, I suppose.
Well, the forecast for tomorrow and for Saturday is pretty good. Okay. Nobody's actually mentioned what the situation is if the race-off gets rained off.
Right.
because obviously I think probably they would look to have the race on the Saturday.
They've got covers and stuff.
And then the final on the Sunday. But of course, Sunday the Polish League's back in action, so they're probably not going to be too chuffed about that.
Oh, let's run it on Sunday.
Yeah, why not? Good thinking.
It works for me.
Okay, a quick one just coming from our friend Judy. She said that she has a ticket for the World Cup for tomorrow night and the final on Saturday, which she can't use. It's worth £45. She'd like a donation to the Ben Fund for it.
Oh,
Anybody's
okay.
interested in that?
Yeah.
Shame, it's so close.
We can't give out her details, so
If you if they go onto Facebook and just search for Judy Stamboli, there can't be
Okay.
that many, can there? So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, Judy, do you want to put that
Yeah.
your Facebook?
I mean,
up
most people
on the
are
shout box?
watching the page. They'll know Judy is anyway. So, yeah, so good stuff.
So
Fantastic.
okay,
Is
I'm
that
just
Aragon?
and yeah, we've just got a few more things to talk about. Anything? Okay, so we should talk about the good news at Coventry.
In the short term, at
In the
least.
short term, yeah, I mean they are not going to be chucked out of Coventry, out of Brandon this year at least, and they've got a lifeline of another year, which gives them a bit longer to find somewhere.
Well, looking at what they've agreed, it looks like the part of the agreement is that if they can find somewhere in the next 12 months, then they've got the option of another 2 years at Brandon while a new track's being built.
Okay, so that's
But I think it's on the condition that they do get somewhere here in the next 12 months.
12 months. Okay.
It's, as I say, there was a big turnout at Brandon on Friday. I must have been obviously walking out of the place at the end. It was, this is before the announcement was made, and I was thinking, crikey, I might not ever come here again to watch a speedway meeting. So it's good news. It is good news. I mean, Coventry is one of the great speedway venues in this country. And I can't imagine speedway not having a Coventry team. It's
Plus, it could happen. It does happen.
Quickly, Hall Green looks like it's dead and buried, doesn't it?
As far as I'm aware, there was some talk about them appealing the decision, I think, but I haven't seen anything else on that.
Yeah,
so.
it's in tonight's papers, so
Yeah.
it looks like it's no go.
Yeah, there's been people have been protesting against the greyhounds.
Well, I've had that for quite a long time at Bellevue as well, protesting against
yeah, sad. Way of the world.
Get well soon, Judy. Said Dingle says she must be not very well. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, gosh, get well soon, Judy.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah, if you put the mind map back up for me, that would be great.
The Coventry bit doesn't work, by the way. So,
Okay. And that's not it. There you go. The fours. So they had a new format for the Premier League fours over a whole weekend. Apparently a good success.
By all accounts, it went really well, yeah, which is good. I think the good thing as well is having two meetings on the night, because you tend sometimes to find with afternoon meetings that the track's a bit dry and dusty. But no, it was by all accounts it was a very, very good. I mean, really, it's always been the Premier League's day out or weekend out, isn't it? So
It has, yeah. It's that thing about what Webby's always said, that Speedway doesn't have its day out.
yeah.
Well, the Premier League does. The Premier League does.
Well, it's Cardiff, I suppose you could say, but that's not really British. Not really a BSBA event. So
No.
I don't think the British. I mean, having the British final on a Monday, I've got my own views on that, to be honest. But that's what Sky wants, by all accounts. So, but I don't think Bellevue wanted it on a Monday, but it was Sky's call. So, as far as I'm aware,
I have nothing to say to that. Really, it's
Sky has too much control. Is all I can say.
I think we've been saying that for years, haven't we? Really,
maybe.
So it's interesting for me that there's another player in the mix now with BT, and whether that's going to be a good thing for Speedway. It potentially could be a good thing. It just depends how it all pans out, doesn't it? Now Webby's got me the fixture list for the whole of Speedway.
That's for August.
Yeah, it's a shame that he hasn't got us the fixture list out for Birmingham Speedway, but that would have been nice.
Hang on. It's not there.
No, because it's on the Birmingham site.
That's the Premier League as well. So
He's now. Look, we've got to be fair to Webber. He's in a bit of a state of shock because we had SRB had another show on before the Speedway's having tonight, the Tilton Talk Show, and we had two. There were two internationals in the studio, and so Webby's a bit starstruck at the moment. So bless him. So we've got fixtures coming up next. Obviously on Sunday we're at Rye House. Predictions, gentlemen? Without Tom Perry and without Zach Vitamin.
Well, they don't tend to do that well there, do they? So it might be a good thing for Birmingham. I'm going to go for a narrow Birmingham win.
Okay.
Rye House.
I'm going to go for I'll say 6 points.
Yeah.
Joseph, any thoughts?
I really wish I had my friend with me because he predicted the last match that we had to the exact score of 28 points ahead.
That is impressive.
But I'm going to go one up above you. I'm going to go 8.
And on the 3rd of August at home against Kings Lynn, that could be an interesting meeting. It would.
Good deals in place as well for that one. I think you can walk the track with the team, can't you?
The children are going to be allowed to walk the track with the team and have the track explained to them by the team. That'll be fantastic.
Yep.
And also kids in for night
with
the paying adults. So get yourselves down there, find out, and don't forget. We want you to record interviews, meetings with riders, whatever. Shove it to us, and you'll find our email address on the website SRB. So check that out and let us know, and we'll put them on air for you. So there we go. I think we've come to the end of our show, gentlemen.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you all had a great show. Before we go, what fixtures have Wolverhampton got coming
Coventry
up?
on Monday.
Coventry
Big
on
derby,
Monday.
so
Will that be on Sky?
it's on Sky,
It's
yeah.
on Sky. Okay. Coventry Wolverhampton, big match.
Always a big match.
Always
It's never dull when Coventry are in town. So.
Okay, well, thanking you very much, and see you all next week. Take care, everyone.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.